just black. So roll me when I'm here, love me when I'm wrong, hold me when I'm scared, and love me when I'm...
All right, folks, welcome back to episode 2. This is Burning for Dallas. I am your host, Evan Price from the On Your Left Power Rankings, and I am here with 3 of my favorite people in the sport of triathlon. Benny Randall, Josh, Muddy Monda, Caleb, the Kale Salad Pennington. These are 3 friends, training partners, and for the purpose of this podcast, also immediate competition to each other in a few weeks in Dallas Little Elm 70.3, the North American season opener for the Ironman professional calendar, not Pro Series. Oceanside's the opener for Pro Series in North America. But we are here today in episode 2 of this to talk about, first and foremost, the conditions and the race course itself, which is a new race to Ironman. It's a pretty cool venue, though, down in Little Elm, Texas, which is the southern portion of the United States if you're abroad. And that time of year is a nice temperate weather condition place. March, I know, can be cold in places in America, but in Texas, they are turning up the heat usually in March into April, but should be pretty temperate at that time. So let's start. We have a couple guys here who have already dove pretty deep into the course. I know Josh already has, and I think Benny has as well. So let's start with the swim, and then we're going to go to the bike, which I think will be the little bit more time-consuming one. But let's start with the swim, boys. What have we got on that course?
Yeah, so looking at the swim map here, I'm literally just looking at what's pulled up on the Ironman, like 70.3
Yeah,
Dallas Little Elm site. Swim is like very, very standard.
it's very straightforward. Yeah,
I would call it like almost very similar to like a Boulder 70.3
yeah,
course. Like you're just going out and making a left turn and then you're making another left-hand turn. It's just going to be one big box coming back
yes.
to a different like come out from where you're leading, but it looks very, very similar just on that same beach.
And
Potentially a beach start.
that's what I was about to ask. So we'll be running in from a beach, it looks like.
Yes, pictures I've seen online of another race over the summer that they do in this area, it looked grassy, like a grassy beach. But the satellite images on Ironman site, it looks kind of like a sandy beach. So we'll see how that plays out.
I mean, no, it can't be that long of a beach run up, you would think. Like, it can't be... You would think this is probably like a little park with like maybe 50 yards worth of sand. I'm just looking at the map from there. Maybe on the exit side, it looks like a little bit more sand. But
Yeah.
You're right, Josh. It might be like a grassy sidewalk thing that goes straight into the sand, maybe 50 yards.
Yeah, it's Louisville Lake is the name of where we're swimming at Little Elm Beach. Historical water temps in March are from 54 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Definitely wetsuit, definitely a little bit on the cooler side.
That's going to be like La
yeah.
Quinta cold. Everybody, what's the coldest? Like Caleb, what's the coldest water you've swam in? Was that La Quinta?
Actually, it's probably going to be Triton, man. February, like 2022, 2023. That was the Pacific Ocean. It's in a bay, but still, like, it had to have been like 52 or 3. It was freezing. Quinta was cold, but I think this will be kind of similar to La Quinta, where it's cold, but it's not like take your breath away right when you
It's
dive
doable.
in cold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it just sucks in the warm up.
One thing I wanted to mention is you're going to swim right back into the sun. The swim is right back east. I'm going to bring 2 sets of goggles. Everybody should bring 2 sets of goggles because that Texas sun early morning could be super bright. You're swimming right back into it.
That's a really good point. Yeah, the sun will make that sighting tough coming back in. Okay, so it's tough to see. We really don't know much about the transition here. I don't think we can kind of assume that the transition's not going to be a crazy long run up, but it will be through the sand partially. It looks like it's pretty close, like it's in this parking lot situation going on there. Going on to the bike then, which I think will be the big player on this course. I mean, they mark it as hilly.
They mark it as hilly, but it has,
I'm not sure about.
1,000 feet of vert.
Yeah,
That's like Oregon. That's like Oregon
1,200.
type elevation. So that's
There's maybe
pretty
a couple
fast.
punches. Yeah, it's going to be a fast course. Anything I think under 2,000 feet is mostly a flat course. It's still going to be like a higher power course. It's not like any climbing's really going to factor in. But as
Yeah.
Josh has just pointed out today, which is a great insider here, is wind is going to be the primary thing that's going to determine this bike ride. Is Josh, you were saying the wind is coming out of the north typically this time of year?
Yeah, it appears to come out of the northwest most years, and around the time that we're going to be on the bike, anywhere from 10 to 20 mile an hour winds with gusts from 15 to 30 miles an hour.
So those are pretty similar winds to like what Boise was having. Boise was a little bit on the lower end of that day than what it usually was, but similar type winds in the morning to what Boise had, which definitely factors in.
In the second half of the bike, that seems to be more net downhill, is going to be with the wind at our backs. So keep that in mind too. Having bigger gearing for that race might pay off.
Yeah, Josh is right. Like looking at the elevation profile from like literally miles 30 all the way to almost like 50, you're going downhill more or less. So anyone like I mean, pull out your 58 tooth, pull out your 62 chain rings because you could
I was going to ask, what is everybody riding here in their big ring? So my big ring's a 58. What's everybody else's?
Yeah, 58.
Did you get a 58? Because you were on a 56 last year.
Oh, was it? No, it's a 58. Is it?
It's a 56.
Is it a 56?
I promise you, we're both 56. I promise you.
I'm 56 too.
I like how Josh knows my bike better than I do. No, okay, maybe I'm a 56. I thought for sure I was 58.
So we might need to do some shopping.
Maybe we need to shop a little bit. Yeah, anybody want to donate a 58? That would be great.
I'll give you my old one.
Braxton Boko said he could get us some deals on by SRAM.
Braxton, if you are listening right now, I will take you up on that as long as Kale, you switch it over before Oceanside would be all that I need.
I'm sure we can make something work.
I'm not riding a 62 in those Oceanside climbs. We'll talk about that. That's going to be important. Yeah. So, I mean, really, this bike ride then, in my opinion, is going to be twofold. I think to get into a group then is going to be hard work. And if it's a headwind, that will play into groups' favors. If that becomes a crosshead or a pure cross, it's every man for himself. If you're dealing with more of like even a mostly cross but a little bit of a head, it doesn't matter if you're in you're getting beat up more. That wind advantage is not playing into your favor then, which means that if you're going into that for a good half of this course, it's going to be a really hard first hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know we're going to talk about like, you know, like how we can like how each of us can win the race later, but I just want to say now, like, I want it to be pure hell. I hope
Not
it's
exactly
hell out there.
Win the race, but beat on this panel, win the race. I think I like one guy's chance if everything went perfectly for him. I don't think any of us are winning this race. But
yeah, I
want it to be might be there.
Yeah, I think if it was like really hellish winds, that would benefit. I think it would benefit honestly two guys on this call pretty well.
I think it benefits the old guys.
Packs. Yeah.
I think it does.
I know Evan likes these conditions, and I know
Josh rides better than he thinks he does, though. I know Josh said, like, I do ride well in the wind just because I grew up. My first bike experience wasn't a really windy part of this country, so I got good at riding. But Josh is very slippery in the wind too. It just gets hard. I know because of Texas in the past, Josh has had troubles with his. That was a pretty windy day when you had trouble with your back, Josh, in Texas.
Yeah, I've had that. Old man problems.
Yeah,
old man, low back
but this
problems.
isn't a full iron. But this isn't a full iron, so yeah, it's different over 112. All right, so the bike will be a battle, and then coming onto the run, looking at air temps is always a dew point and air temps. That's anybody who's ever watched Power Rankings know I obsess over dew points. We won't need to be worried about dew points this time of year. Really, the air temps, man, look pretty darn perfect this time of year. Like, I think it's going to be, it might feel a little warm to people who are in core winter season right now, but I mean, it's gonna be pretty nice, like mid 60s, low 60s.
Most likely mid 50s to mid 60s, somewhere in that range.
Okay, so even cooler.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Kind of perfect running conditions. Yeah. Okay.
It is. I mean, one thing to note on this though, they call this hilly, 285 feet. I wouldn't really call it a hilly course, but it is on a gravel. Yeah, It is on hard packed crushed gravel, which I think is a pretty important thing to note because
Yeah.
that's not super fast. I'm thinking of like the Boulder Res course, which
Yeah, I
obviously
was
is a
about,
lot hillier, but
I was
like
about to say Ben is drooling over this, knowing how well he's run on the res.
yeah, it takes energy from you. It's like it's not like running on grass, but it's almost
You're
like
right.
the tier below running on grass, and that'll be. I think a lot of people might kind of break down on this course, even with it not being super hot on like the run.
Yep.
So is this a 2-loop? This is a 2-loop run course, right?
Three
Three.
loop.
It's a 3-loop. Okay.
Yes, 3-loop design. Yep.
And then the part that's on the gravel, that's the part that I see like through all the trees. It's like a trail, and then looks like a portion of it is on some roads.
Yeah, it looks like it's on road for maybe a third, maybe a third. I'm going to say a third at most, maybe a quarter only. And then it looks like you come back into whatever that little park trail looking thing is. And you just run on that crushed gravel.
Time to hit
This
the gravel,
course,
Yeah,
dirt
we need to
track
get some.
intervals.
We need to go. We might need to go over to Washougal Dike Trail out there and get some longer runs in over there.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Kale hasn't been over there yet. That's actually a very famous like long run area in this region, like for even the Bowerman team and all that.
oh really, that would be super sick. We'll have to
Yep.
check it out.
Yep.
This whole course is a strongman's course at the end of the day. Like this, it's going to be
Agreed.
windy. It's flat. There's tons of draggy sections on the gravel. You gotta come fit and strong and understand you're going to break down a little bit because this is a legit. It'll be fast, but it's not a cakewalk course. It's not.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to get marketed as a fast course, but I'll be honest, I don't think you're going to see a lot of breakdowns. I think this isn't going to be an easy course. This is going to be you got to earn the speed, and you're going to have to be really strong all day. If you start to break down, I think a course like this eats you alive.
3 loops is a lot of loops. That's a lot, especially if that second one is tough. You start to struggle on the second one, you got to do it again.
Oh, and you know those runners behind too. Like if they're getting splits to guys up ahead like that, yeah, that's gonna be tough for guys moving backwards. You know,
Let's also keep in mind this race sold out on the age group side within days of it opening, and the
It's a
locals
great point.
on the Facebook group, they're anticipating this to be a pretty crowded run course. So
okay.
we may have some clearance for the first lap. The second 2 laps are going to be a little congested.
That third lap especially will be very congested. Yeah, it's going to depend on how wide this gravel path is too, on how reasonable and tough passes are going to be, because people aren't going to want to move to this side when it's an unstable surface. Luckily, there's not two-way traffic on the gravel, I don't believe.
Yeah, that's a good point with the more traffic. At what point would Ironman give like me a flagrant foul if I just kind of like threw a big shoulder and just like an age grouper coming?
I
Yeah,
think,
what are the rules on
think
that?
Yeah.
I just don't think you're allowed to do it. I think there's I think somebody's going to get mad. So, I mean, I always just kind of like try to say like I just try to say left, because like saying on your left is kind of hard when you're at threshold like talking more. So I just say left. Like it's
You know you
I
want to
think
say it though. You
I
know
know,
you want to say that.
I had a guy yell at me in La Quinta for not saying it. So I had to,
Shout out to our owners.
I had to yell
Our
at
new
that.
ownership. Shout
Shout
out.
out on your
exactly.
left.
We sold out under new ownership.
Shout out to the
Yeah,
acquisition.
Yes, but yeah, I agree with you, Benny. I think this last lap's going to be chaos, which is kind of fun. I don't know. I actually enjoy that stuff. I think that kind of like there's an energy around like if you know you're catching guys and you've got all age groupers around you and anybody cheering you on or saying anything or telling you if there's somebody up the road. Like I love that energy. Like I was loving that on the La Quinta course. I mean, Kale, you probably missed that La Quinta course got wild on the golf course because the turns were so crazy. I was having to like bob and weave around age groupers and like cut inside and like I mean it was like Mario Kart going around those corners.
Yeah, not a huge fan of La Quinta course. Happy we got some open turns on this one. That you're 100% right. So many twists, so many turns, ups and downs. You're going around people. This hopefully they'll have a little bit more traffic control, but I imagine it. Yeah, you guys are right. It'll be a little chaotic.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's move on to we're talking total trading volume and best and worst of the last week. Okay. We're sticking with our rolling 7. This is a Thursday. We're recording this. So it's a midweek rolling 7. Everybody's got to bring up their training peaks. I know for that. But let's go around the horn. Let's start with Money Monda. Give us what your week looked like and then your best and worst.
All right, rolling last 7 days, we are at 23.5 hours. asterisk 21.5 hours of swim bike run.
Josh counts sleeping and yoga in his. Joking.
Not sleeping, but I count yoga and physical therapy and Pilates and maybe some boxing. All right. And that consisted of 6 hours of swimming, 25K, 10 and a half hours of biking, and about 4.5 hours of running for about 38 miles. So, but we're back from swim camp now. So I expect that to go up just a little bit now that the swim isn't taking up so much of the day.
Nice. All right. What's your best and worst, Josh? Do you think? I want you to give your highlight swim from the camp too. I'm not sure if you gave that in the last episode because it was right in the heart of your swim camp.
Yeah, I mean, I would still say the highlight swim is the 50 by 25 set that I did on 35, and I was holding 14s. And for me, that was the highlight just because that was the one set that I was out touching everyone at the wall for the most part, including Ari.
How'd the 25 by 100 go, though? You still did well there, but Ari, I know, did very well in that 100 set.
So the 25 by 100, by that point in the camp, we're all pretty tired. He gives us, for the first time, like an actual like pace he wants us to hold. Everybody has their own pace. I had 112 that I was supposed to hold. That was the same that I was given last year. And the way it works is if you miss if you go more than like 2 reps in a row where you're missing by 2 seconds or more, so you're doing like swimming like 114s, then you have to sit out a rep and try to recompose yourself. And then the next time around, you get back to it and you try to get back on pace. And then if you miss again, then your workout's basically over and you just swim easy for the rest of the workout. Last year, I made it through 12 at 112 pace, and then I sat out a rep, and then I made it through like 4 or 5 more before I started missing again. This year I made it through 18 at 112 pace.
That's big improvement. That's really good.
Then sat out a rep and was able to do a few more at like 113s and a 114, and then he made me sit out the 25th one. So I got 23 by 100 in.
Last rep.
Yeah. He's like that. So he doesn't want you swimming. He doesn't want you doing any swimming that's at like a slower pace than what you're supposed to be swimming.
Yeah.
Because if you're swimming at that slower pace, then you're basically just like swimming with those old bad habits that you've ingrained that we're trying to undo. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason behind that.
That's awesome. What was the worst? Or worst just workout. It could be any of the sports.
Yeah, so the worst workout was Thursday at swim camp. That was our easy day in the water, and I was really excited because we were going to go right outside finally. And the riding in the woodlands is just horrible. Like it's just there's so much traffic and it's very dangerous. There's nowhere to ride, no shoulders, lots of stoplights, and so we had to ride all the way out to the national forest. And there's a loop out there that everybody rides, including the Norwegians when they were out there. They did this loop 4 times at like 28.5 miles an hour the week before Ironman Texas.
Oh my God.
And so we went out and we did that loop. And I'm surprised they did it because like a third of that loop was like very chunky road, like where you could not even stay in the aero bars. Like it was so you had to like get out of the aero bars and like watch where you were going because there was like shadows from the trees and everything.
Yeah, just like really bad, just like potholes everywhere too.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought it was gonna be nice because we were gonna ride outside finally, and my legs just weren't there. The workout was 2 hours after the warm up with 4 by 3 minutes at 40K effort, and then 3 by 6 minutes at 40K effort. And usually peak season, like I'm probably pushing around 330 watts for those efforts. And I was lucky if I could push like 305, 310 on Thursday. It's just like nothing was coming easy. Felt very like not in outdoor riding shape. Like I could tell I've been doing all my riding indoors. I just could not find the right gear, could not find the right cadence. It was just a slog. So
I think there's probably just some fatigue from the swimming too that's just lingering in the system.
Yeah, it was just weird though, because I was so excited to ride outside, and then by the time we got going, I was like, the whole ride, I was like, I just want this to be done. So all right, then the best workout would be this last Tuesday night. I did the Zwift Racing League race with my old age group racing team, Team F3.
F3.
And it was it ended up being a 1 hour and 11-minute long race, which is a long race for the Zwift Racing League. Usually they're like 35 to 45 minutes. And my normalized power was 331 watts, average power 311 watts, and I had my third all-time best 5-minute power at 419 watts. But the cool thing there was that I was over 400 watts for 5 minutes 4 different times during that race. So it was like,
Dude, that's really good power this time. That's
yeah.
coming off
legit.
of a tougher bike week for you. That was a good sign.
And the best part about it was because it was basically 3 signature climbs, or like 5.5-minute climbs you have to go up. And on the second climb, I got dropped near the very top by the front pack, and I just popped off at the very end of the climb. And usually in those races, once you get dropped, like you cannot solo back to the lead group.
No, it's game over.
But somehow after the descent, once I kind of got my legs back, I was able to dig in like basically really hard and do another 5-minute 400 watt effort and reattach myself to the group. So that's the first time I've ever done that.
It's way easier in real life, I can tell you. Yeah, Zwift dynamics do not work well as soon as you get detached from a group.
Yeah, it was absolute hurt lock.
That's huge though. That's a big good sign going forward this winter. All right, let's go to Kale next. Give us your week totals and then worst and best, Kale.
All right. I was at 19 hours this week, right on 10 hours of riding. Yeah, I was at 15 last week, so that's up 4 hours. 10 hours of riding, 5 hours of swimming, and 4 hours of running. 31 miles of running, about 20K of swimming. Pretty solid, pretty consistent. My best session of the week was another swim. We took the 15 by 100 from last week and upped it to 20 by 100, and I just was allowed to push the last 5 a little bit harder. So I did the short course yards pool this time, and I averaged 108 for the first 15, leaving on 120. And that was pretty, like, it was just kind of feeling it out. It's not easy, but it was not hard. And then the last 5, I was able to push it a little faster, still leaving on 120, and I hit 103 or 104 for all of them. So that was pretty good. Like swimming fast, pretty fatigued. So then I got 100
Was that
easy.
yards or short course meters?
That's yards.
I thought for a second that was short course meters. I was about to jump out of my chair. I was like, oh my God.
No, maybe someday.
Still strong work on 120. I mean, that's still very strong work, but
yeah. And the best part of the session was I did that set 100 easy, and then I did a 50 from a push, and I hit my first ever 26.
Oh my gosh.
Which for me, like, I'm not a sprinter. I am a tempo threshold guy all day. So 26 is pretty speedy for me. That was the first time I've ever seen that, which I was happy with. And my worst session of the week was a run. Same thing, 6-mile run. Different reason though this week. I was going to cross the road, and it's kind of not the best road to cross. And I decided just to go for it. And I went up and went over the curb, and the ditch was way deeper than I thought it was. And I just rolled my ankle really hard, which like happens to me every year. I just destroy my ankle. They're made of glass. They're taped together with like, it's terrible, but managed to like survive and keep jogging. But was like one of those where you're just tired and you're just not thinking clearly, and just totally screwed myself for a little bit. But
where was this at? Was this like on True Valley Road coming back?
No, this is on Minnehaha. There's
yeah.
just like one little section where there's like a 3-foot drop for no reason, and I just mistimed it and like went right, and I was like so mad at myself for the rest of the run. Like, you fool! Like, you could have, because it wasn't bad at all, but I was like, I could have really messed myself up.
Yeah, just dodging bullets at this time of year.
Just trying to increase the mileage intelligently, but finding a way to mess myself up anyways.
That's fine. You just gotta make sure injuries are like 2 out of 10 injuries. That's how you stay consistent. Is when you do dumb crap, just make sure it's 2 out of 10 and not 8 out of 10 dumb craps.
Exactly.
All right, good. All right, let's move on to Benny. Benny, totals and then best and worst.
Yeah, so okay, total volume from last Friday to today is a hair over 25 hours, which I think is up. I think it's up about like 4 hours from last week. And it was the breakdown was about like 7 hours of running, which was a hair over 60 miles, which I think is my biggest mileage week since probably before Augusta, which is great. It's
We
also
added
great.
a run this week too, didn't we? Was that the first week of 5 days of running? Correct.
And I think it's also a great thing because it's it's 60 miles and it's in 7 hours, not 60 miles in 6 hours, which is
Yes.
like something that used to be a thing. And then K in the swim, which was about 8 hours of swimming and 10 hours on the bike. I think my best session was kind of the same as last week. I said my best session was the weekend trainer ride. This last Saturday, I had a 4-hour trainer ride before I went on like a ski trip with some friends. So got up early and was really kind of motivated for it and ended up averaging like almost, I think it was 298 normalized power for the 4 hours and like 286 watts average
Yeah, you were
with,
just under 300 for normalized 4 hours.
yeah,
That's huge.
it was just a lot of intensity, and it was very similar to Josh's like Zwift race, where I think there were quite a few instances where it was a lot of time over 400, and I'm pretty sure I'd set like a 5 minute power PB, which and it was like 430 something or something along those lines. So that was a super super strong ride. I was really happy with that one, and then I'm gonna copy Kale or Caleb, like same exact thing happened on a run this week. I was trail running with a friend, and just it like just snowed, one of the first big snows here in Fort Collins, Loveland area, and we're like, going on the trails or whatever, and I just miss like a twig that's like underneath like the snow or something, and my ankle just goes, just
It wasn't even the
completely.
ice. It was a
No,
twig that could have
not even the
happened at
ice.
any time of year.
Yep, ankle just goes 90 degrees, and my friend's like, "Oh my god, that looked awful. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I'm like
You just
limping.
get all the
Yeah,
bad luck out right now, just this month. Just everything
yeah,
bad can happen in January. That's fine.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
get
exactly.
start stocking up good run karma at this point.
Yep, yeah.
Awesome. All right. I'll roll over
Ben,
to go
Ben,
ahead,
that
Josh.
was your just jumping in. Ben, that was your second all-time 5-minute power,
What was the
423
watts?
watts. Do you know what your all-time 5-minute power is off the top of your head?
No, I don't.
Per Training Peaks, 119 watts.
When
And that was
was
in August of 2024 on some outdoor
some
training ride you
climb?
did.
It's got to be some climb where he was trying to drop guys.
It's got to be real. There's no way it's fake.
The power
Honestly,
meter was for sure reading right.
I'm pretty sure I know that day because I set out on this ride I always did, and I looked down and I was holding like 410 watts for like 40 minutes. I'm like, whoa, wait, something's off.
Okay. Okay. So we know the power meter
Like,
was.
don't nix it. Yeah, that one doesn't count.
It's either that or you were just feeling great that day. You know that
Yeah,
power meter being off sometimes just maybe just perfect legs.
there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
But no, good work, man. That's impressive.
Awesome. No, man, I just want those
Thanks, dude.
Saturday bike workouts to keep on being your highlight. That's your best going into Dallas. All right. We'll roll through mine pretty quick because if you can't tell by my voice never sounds good. Like I have a face for radio and a voice for silent TV, but my voice is like shot right now. Like I am so I'll I'll say this, and Josh will crack up this because me and him, I think me and Josh are both people. Josh, you would agree. You very rarely get sick since I've known you, right? In the last 6 years of your life,
Yeah, like every other year, I'll get pretty sick.
did you get sick more when you were younger? Like when you were younger, has that been kind of something that's developed more later in life?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I got sick a lot when I was younger. Yeah, maybe I pretended to be sick a lot so I could get out of school.
So yeah,
Uh,
it's
and my,
fortunately my
and,
mom was a
and my
teacher.
mom worked
She
at
always called my bluff.
911, so it was really fun because I go to work with mom and I get to listen in on all the 911
All the
calls.
calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what my mom was a teacher, so she was like at school. So what was she gonna do? Like leave her class? She's like, you're staying.
Really?
Yeah. She's like, you're too bad. You're staying with a nurse who she probably knew. But yeah, I got like my first like actual put me down like cold this last week. But I'll kind of say one big positive. So my volume was 17 hours over the last 5 or 7 days because 2 of those days were completely off, and one of them was like a half day I had to take training wise. But last week I was up to almost 23 hours from Monday to Sunday. So it was a great week. And then I caught something on like Saturday. I mean, I'm a medical provider for anybody who doesn't know listening to this. I'm a physical therapist. Even though people aren't supposed to come and see me sick, it happens all the time. That's just the perks of being in the medical field. So I get exposed to stuff all the time. Usually it rolls off me and I'm fine. And I'm kind of like Josh, where like I get sick, once a year, and I'm a very lucky person that I think it is good. Like my mother was like this too. I think I just have very good immune system genes because I very rarely am down for more than like a day when I get sick. Even when I had COVID, I tried to race through it in La Quinta, not knowingly, but tried to race through it. And then it took me down for one day when we got home. But I mean, I was like, I made it through Saturday, Sunday on target. I think I even texted Josh and Ari. I jinxed it for sure. I texted Josh and Ari and I'm like, I'm going to be fine in like 24 hours. I'm just going to try to do this VO2 workout. And I kind of knew I was getting like a little sick. Like the immune system was talking at that point. I got an hour into that workout and I was like, I might die if I try this VO2 workout. Like I was like hacking up a lung at that point, just did not feel good. So I shut it down. Tuesday didn't train. Wednesday didn't train. And somehow I've like turned it around after drinking like 5 gallons of water yesterday and sleeping 8 hours that I like feel great today now. The voice is still a little shot, but like kind of already back. I couldn't have pushed intervals today. Like I just did all aerobic training, but yeah, so like worst session's easy. Laying on the couch for Wednesday was my worst session. Like I got in my head, I just lost all my fitness over the last 4 weeks. It's now gone. It's just every shred of fitness is now gone in 24
Funny
hours.
how quick it disappears.
It's just
you
gone.
can't train.
I'm basically back to 8 years ago of fitness. I've lost it all. But
back to square one.
Kind of back on track, I guess. But I'll say my best workout of the week was the Sunday long run, even though I was feeling sick. Just like I already feel like the run fitness just like clicked back so quick coming back from the season ender in La Quinta, just like a couple weeks off. And I just felt like got back in the groove that just everything felt easy on the run, like an hour at 6:40 and then did 8 by 3 minutes around 5:30 pace in the second hour of the run for like a 16-mile long run and not taxing. Like got to the end of that run and I was like, if there were 2-3 more reps, I like had him in the legs. Very, very happy with that. Not super shoes either. That's a great feeling to be able to roll through a workout like that. No super shoes. So outside of then losing all my fitness 48 hours after that, it was an okay week. So
Wait, what shoes were you running in? What shoes?
Vomero Pluses. Or no. That run was in the Sauconys. My Sauconys.
The Speeds?
Yeah, the Speeds.
Okay. The Speed 5s, or do you have a previous version?
I ran in the Speed 5s again. I like the Speed 4 a lot better, but that shoe's getting old. Like that shoe's really getting flat. So I want to find like a fresh Speed 4. I just want the Speed 6 to be exactly what the Speed 4 was because that was such an awesome shoe.
I think it will be. I saw a proto the
You
other
think
day.
so?
We're gonna Roost, and they're going back to more like the 3-4 type build.
I was going to ask if you could answer that question. That's great, insider. Okay, all Saucony fans are super pumped about that. All right, so now we're going to get to the fun part of this section. Okay, this is where the trash talk starts. This is where we start to talk some real race dynamics as we all get antsy for the first race of the year. We're going to go around the horn. Kale's got to go first in case swim coach has to leave here early. And Kale wanted to go second before we started this because he is scared to be too mean, as he put it. And he was like, I don't know how mean I should be here. So hopefully Kale's soft and then we all just slam Kale like right after this. So what we're going to do with this segment is you got to go to each person. We're going to try to make it quick. You're going to be quick through this. And you are going to talk about how you're going to beat that person in Dallas Little Elm on that course. Okay? How the race dynamics have to go for you to beat that person. Then you go to the next person, then you go to the next person, and then we'll move on. Okay? Kale, you start with whoever you want. Go.
Pro Tri News talked a lot last year about getting lucky during races and if you have to or not to do well. And I think the luckiest thing that could happen to all three of these guys is that Texas has an unseasonably warm winter and that wetsuit legal just disappears and we get a swim skin.
It's a chance in hell, Kale.
There's no way. But no, realistically speaking, to beat Josh, I'll start with him. I need Josh to swim bad, to him have wasted his time over here in Texas and me to get with a 3 or 4 minute gap out of the water and for him to not really find a group and have to bike solo, which is honestly scary because he'd probably still outbike me solo if I was in a group. But I'd like to get 3 minutes on Josh off the bike. Hope I can still run like a 119 to hold him off. I'm hoping that 44-year-old, he can't run a 116, but I never doubt Josh, man. He's a man on a mission, and I'm worried. So That's how I beat Josh. I swim well. He doesn't swim well. Gonna see a consistent theme in the next two. Moving over to Benny, I think that honestly, I've got the best chance of Benny not swimming as well as everyone else. Historically, he swam 30, 30 plus. If he can swim a 32 for me, that'd be super cool. That'd give me probably 8 minutes on him. He's gonna bike a couple minutes into me. This dude can ride a bike. I'm I'm worried about losing more than that. Again, similar to Josh, and it'll be similar for Evan as well. If he can stay isolated and have to bike solo the entire way, running a 112 on that gravel course is not going to be super easy. He's going to be tired. That wind's going to push him around. He's going to burn more calories than he think he needs to. Maybe I can get a little lucky and he bikes 2 minutes into me and he only runs 6 and I eke out a little 20-second victory on him. That's something that could realistically happen if I can get into a good group. If I swim a 24 and I find some feet and we stick together and we stay in an 8-man 12-meter draft pack, we can ride through the course pretty quick. There's not a ton of climbing. I'm a bigger guy. I don't really get moved around by the wind, and I'm pretty confident in the aero bars and confident that I can hold an aero position for a long time, especially on a strongman course. Moving on to Evan.
Dude, Kale's selling me right now. I think Kale's going to win on this panel so far. He's making very convincing arguments here. But I'm going to actually do something different. I'm going to talk trash back to you as you're talking to me here. Benny and Josh are too nice. Benny and Josh just mute themselves during this.
They can't handle. I'm just too aggressive.
How bad do you think I'm going to swim, Kale? How bad? Give me my worst swim.
I think Evan's going to swim a 27. I'm going to get 3 minutes on him out of the water.
I love a 27. I don't take a 27.
I think he's going to swim. He's going to swim 27, and that there's only going to be 2 other people that swim 27 with him, and it's just going to be
that would suck. Yeah,
Evan solo TT. Luckily for me, Evan and I got off the bike together in Santa Cruz. No chance if we get off the bike together, but I outbiked Evan by a little bit in La Quinta by I think it was close to 5 minutes. Like it was I think you had
you got off the bike, I think, ahead of me by 5 or 6 minutes. I think the actual bike, you biked like a minute and a half into me. Yeah. Or something like that. Yeah.
Hyping myself up. Not even close.
Yeah. I think you did outbike me there. You did. Yeah.
I think Evan got caught in a group that he was the strongest guy in, and I think that's a possibility again this time. I think Evan is a super strong cyclist, and if he gets caught with a couple guys who can't hang with him and he has to pull the group around, he's going to get moved around in the wind. You know, he's from Ohio, whatever. I'm from Iowa. It's windier in Iowa. Don't even.
You're not intimidated by me being from Ohio. You're like, Iowa has stronger winds.
Dude, yeah. And honestly, I need
What's your gap? What gap do you need?
5 minutes. If I have 5 minutes on everybody, that's not going to be enough for Benny, but that might be enough this time if I can run a little better. It wasn't enough in La Quinta, but that course.
I'd be a little worried at 5. I'd be a little worried at 5. Yeah.
The problem with 5 minutes on Evan is it's just enough that he can catch me. And that's the scary thing. If it's like 6, then all of a sudden that gap is just a little too much for him to find that extra gear. And I think in La Quinta, he found that extra gear that if I get caught by any 3 of these guys in the run, it's over. Like I cannot respond. I'm running the best I can. I'm going to run a 119 or a 120. There's not a situation where I drop a 114. It's just unrealistic. My best case scenario is swimming really well and them getting isolated and then being able to just hold them off and not lose a ton of time on the bike or run.
It's going to be a big field. So you're going to have
Kale's got a lot of
people to ride with.
A lot of guys to ride with. And he did that very well in La Quinta, too. Yeah.
And a lot of young guys. A lot of guys who rip the bike and don't care about the consequences. What I kind of like that because I'm thinking about that.
Brad Bishkoff's at the field. Yep.
100%.
That's your guy right there. Yep. So, and guys built like that. And there's a lot of guys built like that now in the field. Yep.
Just dogs who want to send it. So, yeah, that'll be the goal.
Cool. That's a great one from Kale. Okay. Let's go Money Monda. Second. Let's go Money.
Yikes. Okay. All right. Old man River checking in here. Let's see. Father time is probably coming knocking soon, but I think I might still have 2 more big races in me. Kale, I agree with a lot of what you said. I think though that I'll have a good swim and for once, and I think if I don't catch you on the bike, as long as I have you within 2 minutes coming off the bike, I'm basically thinking that worst case scenario, I'll run a 117. and I'll be able to catch you close to the line.
What are you swimming, Josh? What do you shoot your shot here? What are you going to swim in Dallas?
26:27.
That'd be a PR.
It'll be a PR, yeah, by like a minute.
Not including Salem. We don't include Salem. So yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be a legit swim PR.
Yep, 26:27. I think there's a world where potentially I could do even better, but I don't. That's still kind of a dream world. But if it's like strung out, and I can just get like on the very back of that long 25 group, I mean, potentially I could be high 25, low 26.
Kale, what are you doing if Josh is in that group with you at some point on the bike? If you see early that Josh gets in there.
There's not much I can do, man. I've ridden my bike with Josh quite a few times. This dude can hold arrow. This dude can push watts. If I see him on the bike, we're going for the second or third place in the group.
All right, Evan. So I think I know you will. I know you were going to push hard beginning of the bike, and you are just going to be going for it, and so you're going to burn some matches, probably to bridge up to me. As long as I don't have a panic attack in the water. Your best case scenario is I have a panic attack in the water and we come out together.
We're gonna assume no panic attacks. If you have a panic attack, I'm gonna kick you so that you wake up and follow me.
So I will say you burn some matches, you bridge up to me, push in 380 watts, and then I will just kind of play the elder statesman and let you kind of take the lead, and I will conserve myself for 10 or 20 or 30 miles. And I probably won't yell at you to keep your head down if I notice you have your head up and you're just having to push 40 more watts than I do. Then that's fine with me. And then we'll come off the bike together, and
we have before quite often actually. We've done it a few times together.
Yeah, but if anybody's run with Evan on either a training run or in a race, one thing you'll know is he likes to talk a lot and he likes to point out stuff and he likes to point at like obstacles and stuff. And I think it's kind of a flex, but that he's like, hey, I'm fresh enough to talk and you're sitting here huffing and puffing, and he always kind of half steps you a little bit. But this is going to be such a crowded course. He's going to spend so much energy pointing out obstacles and athletes and talking to people that like the last 5K, I'm just going to turn it up. And
Josh doesn't say a word either. I know I get scared of Josh when he's dead silent, when he just isn't saying anything. Like he's just, I will be talking the entire time. Josh won't be breathing. He won't even be breathing.
Yep.
The day before Boise, I think it was the day before Boise, and we all were staying together or whatever. Like Evan and I are just chatting it up like most of the day, and Josh is just stone cold
dead silent. Yeah, dead silent.
I got chilled, and I kind of got in the zone from that. That was sick.
Right? I know. Him and Ari are both that way a little bit when they get silent. Actually, both very similar personalities. Me and Benny are way more similar. I think Kale's more in our boat too. We're like, we'll just talk a ton and try to.
Evan, you can talk. Tapered Evan is like.
I get antsy. Like I talk a lot. Yeah.
Nonstop.
And then on the run, when I feel good, it's that same energy where I just need to be like, I'm like exploding with energy on the run when I feel good. And I just talk to everybody. I'll yell at people. I'll do like everything I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Benny. Okay. So this is going to be tough, I think, to beat you, but I think if I can get 3 minutes on you in the water, and then and then I have some people to ride with, and so somehow we kind of like even split on the bike. I think where I'm really going to be able to get you is, and I harp on you on this all the time, is I'm going to put like 30 seconds on you in T1.
Yeah.
I'm going to put 30 seconds on you in T2, because I've taken a video of you in T2 before, and I've seen how slow your T2s can be. So that's 4 minutes. And then I'm thinking, hey, if I can run a 116 or a 115 high, and you're having a tough day, then I think I might be able to just barely hold you off. So, but I'm counting on those slow transitions, boy. So
that's a niche. That's a niche call out.
Yeah, the one thing I wrote down like for this call was that my transitions are just going to be like 10 times better, and that's just an easy thing to clean up for this. But
all right,
just whole race plan, just put on shoes quicker. He's like the old man will beat me if I don't get these shoes on fast enough.
No, I think you can study the video I sent you of your T2 in Boise, and you can find 25, 30 seconds just in that video that you can save just by
I've watched
studying
it a
that
few
video.
times. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
Yep, that's what I got, boys.
Good. Kale, Coach Kale is out here, so we are still including Kale in this conversation. So now you get to talk some extra crap to him. All right, Benny, you are up now.
All right. I'll go with Kale since he's off now. I
Yeah.
could just talk unadulterated shit to him. Gosh, I think it's going to be a similar story for all three, but a good position to beat Kale would mean that I come out. I mean, I don't really see a world where I'm coming out with more or with less than a 4.5 to 5 minute deficit to Kale out of the water. I think I'm in fitness to swim somewhere around like a 28 to like a 29 if I can kind of put it together in the water and can find some feet to stay on. I think there is a definitely reality where I swim with you, Evan, and that would dictate a lot of different things for how the race plays out. But let's say that I'm a little bit behind where you're swimming, and I come out there. I think I'm capable of putting at least 5 to 6 minutes into Kale on the bike, and I don't know. I fell apart at Augusta, and I remember how that feels and what that felt like. And even falling apart, I ran a 120, and I think that's around where Kale's going to run. I don't think I'm going to fall apart again because I remember how much that hurt. So I think I'll put a decent amount into him on the run, and we'll probably be a few minutes ahead if I have a pretty okay day. And I think there's a world where I could be even further ahead if I have a really good day there. Looking at Josh, I think the route to beating Josh would be swimming with Evan or swimming close to Evan. Maybe I'm like holding on Evan's feet for the first half or so of the swim.
Josh isn't going to like if we're coming out of the water together. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then
But if you guys roll up on me on the bike, that is like, man, we're putting some time into some
I'm
people.
going to be excited
if we're all together.
That could happen. If that happens, that I'm going to be like electrified. That is going to be sick.
The group we're with is not going to like that very much, but yeah, I would be very excited.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I would get a little bit of time in the swim and then come out and immediately I'm like bolt of lightning through T1. Just for Josh. It's going to be the quick. I'm going to be gunning for the
T1.
Just everything's already on the bike. All I'm doing is wetsuit goggles off and helmet on, and we're going. We're out of there. Flying mount and everything. Everything's bungee laced to the bike. And then eventually I think I would be able to put a little bit of time into Josh on the bike. I think you would be a good 2 to 3 minutes ahead of me in the swim. So I think I wouldn't really see you until maybe somewhere around that like first to second lap of the round, maybe end of the first lap. And then from there, it might be kind of a cool, we can gut it out for a little bit. And I'll be like, let's go with me. And Money Mondo will be dropping some 5:15 miles with me for a little bit.
Yeah. Josh just going to send it on one of his last race. He's like, screw it. I'm going out of 5:15 out of T2.
Josh is like, I'm going to have a heart attack.
There is a big out and back section on this course too, on the run course.
On the run there is.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's on a road too. That's probably pretty wide. So we're all going to be able to see each other very easily on that and get a very good gauge.
Yeah. That'll be great to get an estimate of where we're at. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And then, okay. So for Evan, I mean, I've said this for the first two, but my probably dream scenario would be coming out with you in the water. And then we get to
I genuinely
more or less...
would love that too. Like, we're supposed to be talking trash right now, but honestly, if you came out on my feet, I wouldn't even be mad as like, oh, I didn't have a good time. I would be very amped as long as we swam. We need to be swimming the 28s at least. But yes, I'd be a little pissed if we're in the 29s. But yeah, we need to be swimming in the 28s. So.
If we were in there and we come out together, I think that'd be great, and it would suck for the rest of the field because we would probably work together. Yeah, work together for a lot of that bike and just bridge up and probably get to a really good group.
I used to have a guy that Josh knows, Yu Haseo, who was one of my favorite pros for a long time in this field, a Taiwanese pro, who I used to come out of the water with, and just the energy on the bike with that guy. We both took fair pulls, and I loved that guy coming out of the water with him. Yeah.
His name is Yu, and every time Evan would talk about him, he would say Yu, and so I thought he was talking about me.
Yeah.
because he was saying you, but it's actually he's talking about his
I talked
buddy
about
you.
him enough. Everybody just ended up knowing who I was talking about.
Yeah. And then the actual, I mean, to be honest, I think the guy I would be most scared of not beating would be you, Evan. Like, cause the run trajectory is definitely on the way up, as well as, I mean, everything else. And I don't know, I think there's definitely a world where, as I'm sure you're going to kind of say here in a sec, but there's a world where you run like 115 and if I have a bad swim or I get really isolated on the bike, who knows what that could mean for the amount of power I have to push like on the bike itself. And then if I'm kind of in no man's land on the run, that's like the one instance where I would be a little concerned there of not being able to put some time into you and eventually beating you. But I think for this situation, if we're biking up through the field together and then we get off together, I think I would be able to put a few minutes into you like on that course. But yeah,
Yeah.
if it
Yeah.
played out that way, I'd be pretty hyped.
I know. I think me and Josh both know the class runner you are, and I would be. If we're running out of T2 together, I'm not terribly confident in that moment.
No,
I'd be
we just
ready
let
to
him
go
go.
to battle. I'd be ready to go to battle for sure in the second half of that race. But it would not be me coming out at 5:15, 5:20 pace.
Yeah, we would let
Your
him
hope
go, and
would
we'd have to
let me
bank.
go and like hope that I like go out in like a 15-minute 5K and
I
kill
would
myself.
still be confident in my egotistical head in those moments on the run that something could happen in that last 10K. But yeah, all right. So I'll talk through mine now too as our last bit of this segment. So Kale, I have a lot. Me and Josh get to swim with Kale a decent amount. I have a lot of respect for how strong of a swimmer Kale is, and also just
So
how humble the kid is. He's going to swim 24 low. If the group goes faster, he's going to swim 23 high. He's going to swim with that chase pack behind. Let's say Morgan Pearson is there. It'll be Morgan and maybe somebody who can go with him. And then there will be a chase group right off of that. And that'll be Kale's group. Kale will be right in that group. That means, I'm under no predisposition that you can just swim hard in the pool and all of a sudden pop off in a race. Get that it takes time and you got to show up on race day. So love to see a 28 low. 27 high would be great. Kale's put too much. If I swim a 27 low, I'm very confident that I can beat Kale then because I had my best swim in a while. So I got to push hard on the bike. I'm going to love a bike course like this. Kale is a big, strong guy who I think will do well in the wind, though. So he biked well in La Quinta, and I think the most I can put into him, even if I'm on my legs that I have Boise and Santa Cruz, which was really good bike legs, I need to be north of 300 watts, closer to 310. I think I can put 3 to 4 minutes on a course like that into him, which will be close enough to the swim gap. I might come out of T2 a little bit behind him, and I'm very confident in my run right now. So I know that if I come out, I even think if I have the La Quinta gap to Kale, I think 5 minutes I can run into him. So I think if it's a 1 to 2 minute, I'm very happy with that. And that'll be good. I hope Kale runs a 119 so that he's way up the field too. I'll go to Josh next because this is funny for us, is how much respect me and Josh have for each other. I love trash talking him too, because it's just funny to trash talk a guy that you literally have trained nonstop with. Because there's a lot of like personal trash talk with this since we've done so many training sessions together. Like Josh knows every bit of insecurity I have in this sport, and I know every bit of insecurity that he has. So it makes for wild race days. It really does. Because like we want us both to like I've always dreamed of the day we get to just sprint down the carpet. It's like a tie or something technically at the line. Like that would be great, but it's just not going to happen, I don't think. So
holding hands.
Yeah.
Hands up.
On Josh's last race. So I am scared of Josh over Ironman. I think Josh is way more scared of me over 7. I think Josh's deep insecurity is that he can't hang with me on 73s. And my not so deep insecurity is that I know I can't hang with Josh over Ironman. So I think he knows he's got to put more than a minute into me in the swim. I think he knows that a minute's not enough because I'm going to push that bike very hard. I'm basically going to push the bike until I see Josh. Like, if that means my whole race is ruined, that's fine. But I will be 350 plus until I get up to Josh. And I've done that before and run fine off of that. So I'm not scared of what it's going to do to my run at all. Like, I will bike as hard as I can. And then basically once I get up to Josh, I will be playing mind games. I'll be talking to him. And I'll make sure he knows that I'm very comfortable. Like, I'm very comfortable. I'll surge at points he doesn't want me to surge. I'll take corners, any corners you have really aggressively. And I'll do something annoying on the bike to the group, definitely. I'll try to make other guys pull, and then as soon as they do, I'll attack. That, like, I love the dynamics of when you get into a big group, if you're the guy moving forward. And I think if Josh comes out of T2 with me, I think he knows deep down that he's not going to be able to hold the pace the last 10K. That's the only trash talk I can say. Now, if we get to that last 10K together, I will admit I'm going to be a little scared, because if Josh is with me at like mile 7 or 8 of this race on the run, that's going to be a battle. And I know Josh will not go down easy, like at all. I think of everybody on this panel, I think the guy who will die last will be Josh. So I think he knows, unfortunately, seeing some of my coach, I think he knows the direction the run is trending right now. And I've not been this confident on the run in a very, very long time. So
yeah, I think if you demoralize me early, like in Best in the West, like
that's the plan. Yeah.
Demoralize me early in the run.
But I genuinely mean it, that like, I know Josh and me both only have a couple races left. If we just got that last mile together to like rip each other's legs off, God, I wouldn't even care who won at that point. Like, if we were just sprinting through the last K together, like, I could care less who won. I obviously would kill myself to it. Like, I would be in a body bag at the finish line, but just what a way to end a long, level of training together and all that.
Evan, you're 10 years younger than me. You don't have just a couple races left. He likes to pretend he's old like me.
We're still gonna do like age group nats against each other in like 20 years too. So we gotta both go win our age group in like
do that.
20, 30 years. Epic. Oh, we will. Yeah. We're not just gonna like stop being competitive because we're done at racing 73s at a pro level. So
no, I'm doing Kona World Champ 60, 64.
I'm not sure if I'll go with you to Kona, but I'll do everything else with you. And then I will agree. I think so. The toughest of these two, I think, will be Benny. Me and Josh coaching this kid, we know what he's capable of. I think we both know that if me or Josh beat Ben Randall, that was a heck of a day from both of us. Like, that's going to take a big undertaking. So I think Ben needs to not swim with me is my first step. I need to drop Ben. I'd like a minute. 2 minutes would be great. I need a minute. And if I have a minute, I'm going to hold that gap. I know Ben loves the power numbers he's seeing right now and everything, but I think I want to teach him a lesson on what race day biking looks like. And I'm going to ride the course very smart. I'm going to get up to guys, and I'm not going to hang around in packs. I'm going to make packs go faster. So Ben's going to have to bike very hard. If he gets isolated, I think he bikes even with me, or I put 30 seconds or a minute into him. I don't think I can put much time just straight up biking, but I need 2 to 2.5 minutes going into T2. And then I need to run under 114. I don't think it's a wild stretch on this course, because La Quinta, I will admit, that first 5K, I was almost giving up. I was having such a bad day. I was not running like I was racing. I stopped. I had to readjust my shoes. I was not in it mentally until we hit like 5K in. And I think that course did not quite feed to speed. Like, I'm more of a rhythm runner. I think Benny is too. Like, I need longer stretches. I need less turns. I don't adjust around corners very well. So I think there's some speed still that I'm going to see improve coming into this race. So I think I can run 113.50. I think Ben's worst run day is like 111 high on a course like this, 112 low with where I know his fitness can be. So I got to be under 114 then if I have any gap to Ben at a T2.
What pace is that? What pace is 113.50?
113.59 would be 5:36 pace.
Yeah,
okay.
5:37.
Is that right?
Yeah.
5:37.
Yeah.
So
that's what you were holding the
second
last
10K.
half of. Like,
yeah. That's not where I'm going to start. I do much better chopping down. That's not where I'm going to start. But I know I could have ended faster. I know, like, if I was further up the field, there was targets, and I know Benny's running me down. I still had more in the tank, really. So we're gonna see, but it would take a Herculean day. I don't expect.
There's one thing we got to keep in mind: Benny's new bike position.
That's what I'm trying to not think about. He might
save like 20 or 30 watts right there.
It might be. I hope he does save 20 or 30 watts, but if he does, this whole plan goes out the window, and then we're all in trouble.
I might not need to bike 320. What did I do in Augusta? Like 320. I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully, 310 or 310 to 320 can go a lot faster when you're holding arrow much better. So yep. All right, guys. So that wraps it up for episode 2 of Burning for Dallas. We went a little long there, but that was a fun one. So we'll be back with episode 3 next week, and hopefully nobody's rolling ankles and people stay healthy. So I will see you boys next time. Kale, have a good swim practice. Till next time, guys.
Peace.